Well, all right, welcome back to another beer experience. I'm Kevin with CrafTeeBeer. You're asking, what's today's beer experience? We've got a Belgian style ale. Today's Belgian style ale is from Voodoo Brewing, and it's the Voodoo Love Child. And it is the Belgian style ale, and it says it's aged on fruit. So Belgian style ales, usually really fruity. They love the Belgian yeast or yeast prominent beers, so sometimes funky, sometimes a little sour. So Belgian style ale aged on fruit. So the Voodoo Brewing was started in 2005. They're in Meadville, Pennsylvania, and they were started by Matt and Kurt Rachaki. They're brothers. Kurt actually does the recipes and the brewing. They say that their company, or the beers from their brewing company, are music themed, music inspired. So Voodoo Love Child, it could be, there's an actual song, Voodoo Love Child. There's also Voodoo Child from Jimi Hendrix. So maybe something in one of those two things. This is a 9.2% ABV. The label is orange, red, yellow flames, and it has this guy who's either got a mask on or it's blacked out on his face, and he's, like either pregnant or got the beer belly. So maybe there's some play on the love child there. And the label is just Meadville, Pennsylvania, established 2005. All right, there's a bunch of words on this, so let's just run through the label. Voodoo Love Child is our Gran Met aged on passion fruit, cherries, and raspberries. This is traditionally unique to lambics, so we feel, why should they get all the fun? This ale is inspired by fun, flavor, and a passion for brewing. We say, have a couple in your own Voodoo Love Child later. Okay, so Gran Met could mean something else, but it also is the term for the main god in like Haitian voodoo. So I'm guessing if that's what they referenced, maybe they're referencing a beer they did that used the same name, but the term is from a Haitian god in voodoo. Our story. We at Voodoo Brewing Company have taken over 2 decades of Matt's brewing experience and our quirky personalities and wrapped them up into a line of beers oriented around what we feel are fun, flavorful, and thought-provoking. We hope you enjoy our beers as much as we do brewing them. Cheers, the Voodoo Brewing Company. All right. And it says the ingredients are 2 rows wheat, fruit, and hops. So, Voodoo Brewing, Voodoo Love Child. It's a Belgian style, aged on fruit. Let's get the Voodoo Love Child delivered and into the glass and get this beer experience on its way. Pretty carbonated. I can hear it going. I can see it going. So it's a fairly clear golden yellow, half a finger to a finger of really white head. Lacing is there. I know lacing doesn't mean usually much. Like lots of small bubbles, just like not rising quickly. It's this, all of these bubbles are just suspended. Yeah, it's crazy. There's like these larger bubbles racing to the top, but then there's this whole host of suspended small bubbles in there. I mean, it's not particles. I think it's bubbles, but I don't know if you can see that, but probably can't the way I hold it, but it's crazy to look through. I mean, I've never really seen that before. All of these small what looks to be bubbles just throughout the whole thing, just suspended in there. All right, so anyways, let's see what this thing smells like. It's got a weird smell. So it's that very Belgian-like sweet, funky smell. So it's the aroma on this thing, I think, is coming from the yeast. I don't know what yeast they used. It's a Belgian ale, so I assume that it's the typical, holding true to the Belgian styles, but I think the aroma is about the yeast. A little sweet, but there's this funky yeast smell to it. So that's what I'm going with. Not sure if that's what it is, but that's what I'm going with. All right. Let's give this a try. Cheers. Oh, fruity. Okay, yeah, some raspberries, maybe a little coconut. Yeah, good. It's not very strong. It's not crazy in your face like fruit. It's just a really nice mix of like raspberries, cherries. I get a little coconut. It's cherry, raspberry, coconut. It's a whole host of fruits all mixed together. You know, fairly muted, but all there straight through. Sure, it's not a very, no, I'm gonna say it's not very strong, but it's pretty strong. It's not crazy, but it's not over the top. It's a pretty even fruity beer. There might be a little of that Belgian funky yeast flavor you get in there, a little bit. It's really hard to describe. Of course, a lot of times it's hard to describe for me, but so the little bit of funky smell, a little yeasty funky smell, doesn't really carry through in the taste. And it leaves a little bit of a bitter aftertaste. The back end's got a little bit of bitter. I'm not sure what that really is. Yeah, this is a hard one for me to describe. I like it. It's not like a flavor that I'm like, oh my god, this is great, but it's interesting. I guess I wouldn't say I love this flavor. I find this flavor very interesting. It's got a little hint of the smell's got a little hint of the beer style that you could describe as a little skunk, not in a bad way, like not a beer that's like skunked, but there's some beer styles that have like a smell that you would describe as slightly skunked. It's got a little bit of that, but with that, it's a little funky. Yeah, this is going to go in the books as one of the ones that I probably can't describe worth shit, because it's got a whole bunch of aromas and flavors that I can taste, but I can't correlate them to anything that I can describe. So which makes this completely useless to you. But there's definitely a cherry raspberry fruity flavor, which is on a intensity scale is maybe a 4 or 5. And then it cleans up. It's the front to back is pretty level, and then it leaves a little bitter like tinge after that. It sticks around the back. Yeah, it's a hard one. I don't know. It's a hard one. I mean, this the more I try to think about it, the more I'm going to be like, The beer experience for me is like, I kind of like it, and I have no idea what it tastes like. Yeah, a little bit of tart, raspberry, cherry, a little bit of yeast, maybe that yeast sour funky thing mixed in there. It goes by flatlined and leaves a little bitter aftertaste in the back of my throat. Not terrible, doesn't go away though, and that's it. So I don't think I'm not gonna have any revelations and go, oh, I know exactly what this tastes like now. So the only way you're gonna know what this tastes like is by if you go get it and try it, not from anything I'm gonna ramble on about. All right, I'm gonna go try to check this in and figure out how the hell I'm gonna describe it. Another one checked in. Went with the flavor profile of fruity, sweet, and smooth. Tough to describe, but those are good general descriptors for the overall experience I had. I gave it a rating of 3.5. It's just a good, I guess, Belgian style ale. It gave me some fruit. I think the hard to describe part might be the yeasty flavors in there. So there you go. Another experience in the books. Voodoo Love Child from Voodoo Brewing. 9.2% ABV, Belgian style ale. Another experience in the books. So subscribe, leave me a comment, do all that social media stuff, and until the next beer experience, I'm Kevin with CrafTeeBeer.